This is ACC College Hoops here in Raleigh, North Carolina. They are lining up for our game today here at Reynolds Coliseum. On the final day of the regular season at ACC Women's Basketball, we've got a top 25 matchup for you as the Miami Hurricanes come to NC State, the Pac honoring their seniors this afternoon. Miami has won 3 in a row in this series. Let's take a look at the updated standings of the ACC. Now, Notre Dame has already won today, so they will be the #1 seed at the tournament next week. Louisville trying to earn that #2 seed. They are playing Pittsburgh right now. Still, the Canes and the Wolfpack, they will get the double bye, but they can change their seeding based on the outcome of our game this afternoon. And it is so great to have you with us for our game today here at Reynolds Coliseum. Tom Wormy, along with Chelsea Shine, former Virginia stand-up. And Chelsea, really, when you look at it, it's been a historic season for both of these teams. You start with NC State. They won their first 21 games of the year. And then for this Miami team, wins against Louisville and Notre Dame this year. But again, the potential is there to change their seedings as far as the tournament's concerned.
Some seeds already locked in, some things still to be determined. A Miami win today and a Louisville loss. They're currently playing Pittsburgh right now, would give Miami the #2 seed in the ACC tournament. If Louisville wins that game, since Notre Dame has already won, then Miami with a win today would earn a 3 seed. NC State is playing for the 3 or 4 seed. So whether or not they win or lose would determine the 3 seed. If they win, they get the 4 seed. If they lose, those games, again, the double bye, as we mentioned, in the ACC tournament. So both of these teams already locked into the top 4, but playing for that seeding, which is the difference between an 8 p.m. game, the 3 seed on Friday, March 8th, or a 4 seed is the 11 a.m. game. So a lot on the line, and also trying to bolster these resume for postseason play as well.
Those are the scenarios. Time for the Toyota starting lineups. And for Katie Meyer, watch number 32, Beatrice Monpremier, leads them in scoring and rebounding. Also 22 double-doubles this season. For Wes Moore, he's got a talented lineup on the floor and led by Kiera Leslie, their leading scorer. She wears number 11 in gray, red, and black this afternoon. The Canes have the black, orange, and green, and we're ready to go from Reynolds Coliseum. Again, the Canes have won 3 in a row in the series and 10 of the last 11 meetings. Monpremier, offensive glass.
Those two, Hoff and Monpremier inside. We'll be talking about them all afternoon. They are a lot to handle. 30 points, 20 rebounds between those two post players for Miami combined.
Rogers had it blocked out of bounds by Monpremier on her drive. And again, that NC State lineup for Coach Moore, brought to you by Toyota. Kiera Leslie, leading scorer, 16 points per game. And she had 15 points in their most recent game against Louisville in a loss on the road. That's Aislinn Koenig for 2. Most of the time, Koenig will extend the range beyond the arc. 204 career three-pointers, 5th most in NC State history. Miami gets a 3. They're going long range as they've got the bucket. Laura Cornelius with a 3-pointer.
Cornelius, such a great face to see back in this Miami lineup. Missed last season with an injury. She redshirted. Brings a lot of veteran leadership to this group. Really good decision making.
Cornelius with the basketball. She's a double-digit scorer on the season. Averages an even 10 points per game. That's a double team on Monpremier. Gray on the drive and twisting and scoring.
Ikea Gray has been so good for Miami. Just a sophomore, has started every game in her career. Can take you off the bounce, can knock down the triple.
And for Gray, her 63rd career start today as a sophomore. As Chelsea mentioned, she averages 13 points per game. Cornelius has already made a 3-pointer. Drives it in and spins it off the glass.
Miami, besides Cornelius' 3 a few possessions ago, has gotten everything inside the paint. This is a NC State team that has only been outscored in the paint 3 times this season. Early on, you're seeing how easy it is for the Hurricanes to get into the heart of that Wolfpack defense.
Cornelius only had 4 points in their most recent game on Thursday on a win against Georgia Tech in Coral Gables. She's already got 5, and that's Hoff. Couldn't play the angle. NC NC State, the number 10 team in the country. Koenig unleashes a three. Montpremier able to gather it in the corner. Miami's won 2 in a row, 6 of their last 7, and that includes the wins at home against Notre Dame and on the road against Louisville. Montpremier was guarded by Koenig.
Coach Moore telling me before the game it's really going to have to be defense by committee on Montpremier and Hoff. Miami off to a quick start. Laura Cornelius, very capable from behind the arc, has done a good job with her shot selections, decision making. And then Micaiah Gray, the sophomore who has a ton of experience under her belt, taking it off the bounce to the rim.
A loss on Thursday for NC State on the road, 92-62 at number 3 Louisville. Shot clock is winding down. Rogers just inside the three-point arc, and it battles out. She, one of 3 seniors honored prior to the game for this NC State program. Tough catch for Hoff. Gets it right back. Turns and fires.
You just watch the patience and chemistry, again, just in these few early possessions. Hoff is so good inside because not only can she score, she's another facilitator in that post spot. She can pass the ball well, has a good feel, knows where her teammates are around her.
She and Cornelius both from the Netherlands. Koenig. Long rebound to Rogers. Has improved her rebounding substantially this season. That one will spin out, though, as she did everything but complete the play.
Offensive rebounds will be huge for NC State. The more of those they can get on the offensive end of the floor to give themselves extra possessions.
This is Crutchfield trying to work on Banks. 5.5 minutes to go in our first quarter. Only meeting between the teams in the regular season comes on the final day. And that's Rogers into the box score. First bucket for Rogers.
Tom, Didi's going to get that shot all afternoon. Montpelier's not going to come out and extend the defense on Rogers unless she continues to hit that. So that shot's going to be one she should continue to look for.
51% from the floor shooting for Rogers this season. Montpremier baseline, and she knocks it down. She is up to 4 points, averages just over 16.5 points per game for the redshirt junior from Miami, Florida. Transfer from Baylor. Off the fingertips of Leslie and out of bounds. Timeout on the court here at Reynolds Coliseum.
MLS is back. Get loud for the
college hoops from Raleigh, North Carolina. It is time for our Hardy Stars to watch. Montpremier and Hoff from Miami.
A force to be reckoned with on the interior. Two true post players for Katie Meyer and Beatrice Montpremier and Amasa Hoff. 30 points, 20 rebounds between those two per game. I asked Coach Meyer what has made these two so consistent and reliable, and she said that they've taken the time to understand each other's strengths. You see them work so well with each other and work so well off of one another. Amasa Hoff, a tremendous passer. Montpremier has extended her shot chart to bring the defense out. Both of these players adding so much to Miami, anchoring them inside.
So far, they have 6 of the 13 points for the Canes. Montpremier, offensive glass, going right to the rim. Canane pulls it down. The outlet to Leslie. Gray got in her way and committed a personal foul. According to Edward Sidlaski, he's joined by Tierra Cruz and Norma Jones, our officiating crew for this game this afternoon. First foul on Gray. Wes Moore, who is closing in on 700 career victories. He's got 694 as we start the afternoon. 136 of those as the head coach of the NC State Wolfpack in his 6th season. Rogers from Canane. They work it out on the perimeter. Crutchfield misses. Montpremier was staring down that three-pointer. Not something she does with regularity. Just 1 of 3 from beyond the arc in her career, which also includes her time at Baylor.
That last possession, Hoff a little too unselfish, trying to get the ball to her counterpart, who was already in rebounding position.
Caleb Prather comes into the lineup for Miami. NC State just 2 of 10 on field goal attempts in this first quarter. This is Conan. Rogers, who has made 1 of those field goals, has earned a couple of free throws on the drive. So the Canes this year, number 15 in the country, 24-6 for Katie Meyer in her 14th year as the head coach of Miami.
The only team in the conference to have beaten Notre Dame and Louisville in the same season since those two squads have joined the ACC. Coach Meyer saying before the Louisville game, even though they were down 14 at one point, she said before that game she kind of just had that feeling. The team was very businesslike in their approach in practices. She said at halftime she went in there and told her team they're good. She said don't be surprised when you win this game, and sure enough the Hurricanes fought back from a deficit to win that game.
They won it 79-73 on February 17th at then number 2 Louisville. Montpremier the catch without the conversion. And there's Rogers on the run.
You got to appreciate watching Cornelius run back down, not upset that her teammate didn't get her the assist. She's encouraging teammates to hustle down. And there's a big play by Dee Rogers. She's going to have a battle all afternoon down low with Hoff on the bench trying to take advantage, going against Prather. Through contact, that's 2 now on Caleb Prather. And credit Dee Rogers. The more you can get into the post bench play for Miami, the easier you make it for yourself inside. We can't see if that'll be a spark now for NC State.
About 5 points for Dee Rogers in this first quarter. She averages 5.5 per game on the season. The senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. She, Kiara Leslie, and Armani Hawkins honored as the seniors for NC State. They're getting the ball back. Coach Moore's team won its first 21 games of the season, a school record. And they started 8-0 in ACC play. 3rd best start in school history. Right behind 9-0 starts in 78 and 1980 for the NC State women's program. There's a collision top of the key. And Mortensen get the worst of it. So the Wolfpack, number 10 in the country, and they play such great field goal percentage defense in addition to their scoring ability.
It's been the next man up for Wes Moore and his crew. 4 players down with ACL tears, and yet they just keep rolling with it. This is their 5th-ranked opponent in the last 7 games that NC State is facing. They have had a brutal stretch of conference play, and it gets no easier.
Number 1 in rebounding margin as well.
There's so many injuries. A lot of adversity this team has had to play through this season. Certainly only made them stronger, players stepping up.
Canaan at the free throw line. What a freshman season it has been for Canaan. 6'5" center from Summerfield, North Carolina. Canaan 74% from the line, but 57% from the floor. 7th best in the conference and the best among freshman players in the ACC.
Well, Canaan has been the bright spot during this stretch of difficult games. She's showed up big against some of these top 25 opponents, has had a few double-doubles. 28 points when they played Notre Dame. Certainly a name high on the list for Freshman of the Year.
Leslie takes it all the way to the rim. Rogers is there trying to clean it up. Almost hit the shot as she sprawled across the court. She's going back to the free throw line. You sense Rogers as the senior playing with a little bit of a different intensity this afternoon.
She's got a spark now. Really felt like the first 5 minutes or so was feeling her way inside, and now that she's seen one go in, got to the free throw line, her confidence is up. That's one thing that you can rely on for this senior who has had to play behind Chelsea Nelson and Akila Mays. She has bided and waited her time to have this kind of season and is so reliable on the boards. Her effort is always there. You can see how hard she's been working.
2 fouls on Mortensen, 2 on Prather, both at that Miami bench. Mortensen still in the game now with those 2 fouls as Leslie got the miss and rips the ropes for 3.
Offensive rebounding. We said it. That's what's keeping NC State in this thing now. They've tied it up.
It's a 9-0 run. 13 all. 61st three-pointer of the season. Kiera Leslie, the graduate student. Gray on the drive. Hoff with the tip. Gray from the baseline. Hoff again. Right back to the rack for Hoff. Mesa Hoff, who averages 14 points per game. It struggled a little bit in the win against Georgia Tech, just 6 points and 6 rebounds. And there's Crutchfield using the backboard and her first basket.
Tell you what, Kai Crutchfield is happy to be guarding somebody other than Asia Durr. A little bit more freedom on the offensive end for Crutchfield, who had the tall task of guarding Durr in their last game, but big shot for the sophomore.
Asia Durr scored 47 points, tied career high in that 92-62 win on Thursday with NC State in KFC Yum Arena.
Kiera Leslie off of a rebound, crashing the boards. All right, I got the rebound. I get to take the shot too. Big three-pointer. And then how about Kai Crutchfield? Little kiss off the glass. Short jumper going down for the sophomore.
Crutchfield, the sophomore from right here in Raleigh and Millbrook High School. Only had 2 points in that loss at Louisville, 1 of 6 from the floor, but she's got a basket this afternoon, and we are tied at 15. Final seconds, first quarter. Leslie shakes her defender. Rogers trying to beat the clock, and she does it. The officials will take a peek if it stands, Chelsea. First lead of the game for NC State.
Well, you watch the clock, a big offensive rebound for the senior, and she goes back up. Looks like she got that off in time. Going against Hoff. Little spin move. No question. They counted that one.
So Rogers beats the buzzer. NC State takes the lead for the first time in the game, and Rogers with 8 points for the senior in the first quarter against Miami.
Is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. And Hardee's. Try the new Angus Thick Burger Melts. Hardee's, because it tastes better.
NC State has the lead, ready to start the second. Before we do, D.D. Rogers, what a first quarter. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 of 7 from the floor.
He has just been out toughing Miami inside, crashing the boards hard, going up through contact, finishing plays. What a spark the senior has been. Only averages just over 5 points per game. Has already exceeded that. She's done a really good job. Her minutes are up this year, rebounding, scoring. Has been patient in her time at NC State, and it's showing.
She played the entire first quarter and is getting a rest right now for NC State. Once again for the Canes, their scenario is they need to win this game if they'll have any shot at that number 2 seed. Louisville playing right now against Pittsburgh. Should Louisville win, they will be the number 2 seed at our tournament. NC State, they win today, they can improve their seeding up to 3 from number 4. But the key is, as Montpelier takes it to the basket, both of these teams do not have to play the first 2 days of the ACC tournament.
Already locked into that top 4 seed slot. 2005, should NC State win this game, was the last time that they were a 3 seed or higher in the ACC tournament. So if they win today, they would be the 3 seed.
NC State lost in the semifinals of the tournament last year against Louisville. Miami lost in the quarters against Florida State, 73-69, and that's Hoff on the interior.
Hoff recognized, had a little bit of a smaller player. Kayla Jones able to take her off the bounce.
Jones was cut off by the defending of Montpremier. Canane, tough move along the baseline, defended by Hoff and a foul.
Here are these seeding scenarios again with the win over Virginia today. Notre Dame officially the #1 seed. Pitt and Louisville playing now. It's halftime of that game. Again, if they were to win, then Louisville would be the #2 seed. And then you can see, depending on what Miami and NC State do here and what happens with Louisville, which we'll know by the end of this game, what has happened with Louisville and then where these two teams can slide into.
And the Cardinals are the defending champions of the ACC Women's Tournament. Stopped the string of Notre Dame winning 4 straight at our ACC tournament. We'll be there next week in Greensboro, North Carolina. Can't wait to get it all started on Wednesday. We'll have the first 3 days of the tournament on your regional sports network. That's 11 games in 3 days. Get ready. Miami keeps possession, tied at 19, 5th tie of the ball game after Miami rolled out to a 9-point lead in the first quarter. Montpremier hit the deck. The miss by Marshall. Jones runs it up for the pack. Rogers is back in. Crutchfield hoists it. Gray scoops it up. Gray lost the handle. Maybe a little too fast bringing it up.
Yeah, Miami going a little fast-paced, couple of turnovers. Needs to slow it down in their half court.
Canane tries to run it down. They've got 10 on the shot clock. Rogers! How about the pass from Jones? Just spun it right over to her.
Jones has been playing really well in their last 3 games, playing with a lot of confidence. And that's a really good find on the move to get it to Rogers.
How about double digits for Rogers with 10 points? And Hoff with the soft touch gets the roll. She's got 8 points. We're tied again, 21 all. Told you that Miami has dominated this series recently, winning 10 of the last 11, and Canane travels and turns it over.
Kayla Jones has hit some big shots in their last few games, and then there's an unselfish play to Dee Dee Rogers. And then here's Hoff off the screen, little slip, and finishes inside.
Mesa Hoff playing in her 124th career game in a Miami uniform. Did struggle in that win against Georgia Tech at home on Thursday. Just 6.6 rebounds and 3 of 12 from the floor for Hoff in 34 minutes of action. Cornelius, the miss. Canane, the board.
This is where you need to find Rogers quickly inside. Look at the mismatch.
Crutchfield sheds her defender. Off an easy board. India Banks with the basketball for Miami. That three-pointer bouncing out for Mason. Canane with position.
Really good angle by Crutchfield to take the ball, to get a good look inside to Canane, who'd been posting up deep on Hoff.
6 points now for Canane, the freshman. And from the corner, it's a 3. Kelsey Marshall has it for the Canes. And her first points of the afternoon. Miami is one of the better three-point shooting teams, 37% as a team, and 3rd in the conference. Leslie wants her own 3. And that'll bounce out of bounds.
Canaan continues to battle down low. Good little shot fake, pass fake by Crutchfield to get it inside to Canaan, who is deep on Hoff in the lane.
Canaan had a season-high 28 points in NC State's game against Notre Dame. Hoff over the shoulder, off the backboard, and in. Mesa Hoff.
When you look at her size at 6'3", it's moves like that show you how versatile she is. She's not a finesse player, but can make some of those finesse moves.
And then she defends Canaan. It goes out of bounds. Miami basketball. NC State and Miami trying to improve their seeding head-to-head here on KYOW Court.
We watch.
ACC on the final day of the regular season. Now all these scores are going to help us figure out who will have what seeds at our ACC tournament next week. We get started in Greensboro on Wednesday.
Now the game to keep your eye on, Louisville and Pitt. Again, we told you a Louisville win would lock them in as a 2 seed. If Louisville loses to Pitt and Miami wins here today against NC State, Miami could slide up into that 2 seed. So Louisville game will kind of dictate what Miami and NC State could do. NC State can either be a 3 with a win today over Miami, or they will finish 4th if they lose, but locked into that top 4 spot no matter what.
Mom Premier around Canaan for 2, and she's got 8 points. Miami also has the advantage on the boards here in our first half of play, 20-14. NC State best in rebounding margin of the ACC, and it's Jones launching the 3.
Player who only averages 4.9 points per game. She had 14 versus Wake, 14 versus Carolina, and then 15 in their game against Louisville. She is shooting with confidence. Coach Moore talked about the confidence he has in his sophomore, who's gotten a lot more opportunity now with some of these injuries that we've talked about. She She's been a good option now off the bench. In these last 3 games, you see she's averaging just over 14 a game. Some crucial free throws down the stretch when they played at Carolina to secure that win. Has done a really good job as of late, especially in this stretch of games when you're entering into postseason play. It's good to have an option emerge like that to deepen a short bench for NC State.
Chance to tie or go ahead with a 3 for NC State. Down by 2. They want the lead. Front rim and Montpremier. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. 22nd meeting between the programs. Miami working on a 3-game winning streak in the series. They won last year at home against NC State, but it was close, 52-48. Leslie. Entry. Montpremier had the block. Rice made her move and thought she was going to get to the rim unimpeded.
It's one of my favorite moves in the post, the up and under. But when you've got 6'4" Montpremier in there, don't be so short.
And the basket will count.
Montpremier protecting the rim. Freshman Jada Rice goes up for a great move. The Montpremier there with the block. And then there's the block, or excuse me, take to the rim by Taylor Mason to get to the free throw line and complete the 3-point play.
Gray comes back into the lineup for Miami. Cornelius to the bench in a quick conversation with Katie Meyer. Coach Meyer's taken this Miami program to the postseason 9 straight years, 4 straight NCAA tournaments, and 7 times to the NCAA tournament in the last 8 years. Such an accomplished playing career at Duke. She was named to the ACC 50th anniversary team as one of the most outstanding players to ever play in this league. And Koenig has trouble on the inbounds. Wes Moore's team to the Sweet 16 a season ago after wins against Elon and Maryland right here in Raleigh and K-Yacht Court in the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. 2.5 minutes to go in our quarter. Montpremier.
Really good patience by Miami. You need to continue to look into Hoff and Montpremier.
Double figures for the 25th time this season for Montpremier. And there's Leslie. She's up to 5 points.
Leslie's a player we need to keep our eye on for the final stretch. Last 2 minutes here and in the second half. Has been struggling in their last game shooting from the field. Just 12 for 39. But she's a player you'd have to think has to have a big second half for NC State.
A spirited crowd this afternoon inside Reynolds Coliseum, Valvano Arena, K-Yacht Court. Canes by 5. Led by as many as 9. Working that shot clock. Down to 7. Gray looking for help. Hoff must shoot it. Did she get it away? They're going to take a look.
Well, I will say this. That's a difficult spot as a guard to put your post player in. With 4 seconds left to feed her the basketball when she's got her back to the basket and ask her to make a move. I think Hoff was aware. I'm going to give her credit because she's a senior. I'm assuming she was aware of how much time was left on the court or on the shot clock. But that's a difficult spot to put your post player in. You see immediately the officiating crew wants to take a look at it. You see the light go off for the shot clock. Is the ball still in her fingertips? This is when you and I say, Tom, we are glad we are not wearing striped shirts. These are the tough decisions.
Now, normally I would say the officials have the benefit of replay in this case, but it is so close. I mean, it is fractions. When does the ball leave her fingertips? Edwards, Lasky, Tierra Cruz, Norma Jones with an intense conversation.
We talk so much about what's at stake for the ACC tournament, but don't forget, these are two teams trying to bolster their resume for the NCAA tournament as well. They're going to count the basket.
So with that bucket, 12 points in the first half for Mesa Hoff. And she just barely beat the clock. So she's got 12 to lead the way for Miami. Rogers with 10 is the leading scorer for NC State. So the 12 from Hoff leads everybody here in the first half. Koenig. Rogers off the glass. Got it back. Great hustle from Rogers, and we're inside of a minute to go in the quarter. Jones on the run.
How big has Jones been for NC State off the bench? Sophomore no more. She's gotten a lot of confidence.
5 points for Jones off of that NC State bench, and that's a three. Kelsey Marshall. She's got 6 with a couple of threes in the game.
And Dia Banks has been slotted into the starting lineup over the past 10 games in place of Kelsey Marshall. And Coach Meyer saying they like Kelsey Marshall coming off the bench as a shooter. You can see why.
63 made threes on the season for Marshall, and that leads the Miami Hurricanes this year. Shot clock is at 2. Gray steps in the passing lane. Gray took possession of the basketball, and then the shot clock ran out. So they're saying that Gray may have stepped out of bounds as she was making the steal.
If it was a shot clock violation before she stepped out of bounds.
So once again, the officials have conferred, trying to make a decision. Second on the shot clock. Time for a catch and release. You must have 0.3 on the shot clock for a catch and release. Otherwise, you must tip off the pass. We're going to have to reset that game clock. They're trying to put 4.3 on the game clock and 1 second on the shot clock. So again, they're saying that Gray stepped out of bounds after making a potential steal. So 4.3 on the game clock, 1 on the shot clock.
She in possession, we have a full 4.3. She stepped out of bounds. Our ball, 4.3 seconds.
So Koenig is going to inbounds it, although Edwards and Lasky is still at the scorer's table. So the officials are now going to 5.3 on the game clock. And Coach Moore getting the explanation from Ed Lasky. All right, here's the inbounds, Koenig. They slip it in to Leslie, who almost was able to catch and shoot. And that last shot sails over the backboard. So that'll do it for the first half. How about 38-30 as we go to the locker room? The Miami Hurricanes have the halftime lead here at Reynolds Coliseum. couple of teams that won't have to play in the first 2 days of the tournament, playing like their tournament lives are at stake. The Hardy's halftime report straight ahead.
I wanted to play football since I was like 3 years old. My family has been like everything to me. I'm out there playing for my son.
I use him as my motivation.
There you go.
Combine is make or break for me.
I always love the game. I want to do this forever.
MLS is back.
Hardy's halftime report with Miami up by 8. But NC State Canes led by as many as 9 in that first half, with the number 15 team in the nation has the lead over the pack. Mesa Hoff leading the way and leading all scorers with 12 points.
24 points in the paint for Miami in that first half, and it was in part because of Mesa Hoff. So versatile, off the screening action. She can slip and roll, scores really well, passes really well. Big first half by Hoff. And then Dee Rogers for the Wolfpack. First couple of minutes thought she was really trying to settle in, and then we just saw her be an absolute force to be reckoned with, crashing the board. She has 8 rebounds. Just really tough battle inside, able to get to the free throw line, complete a couple of 3-point plays. Dee Rogers really, I thought, was the spark for the Wolfpack in the first half.
10 points and 8 rebounds for Rogers. Beatrice Montpremier had 10 points and 9 rebounds in that first half. The numbers from the first half, 46% from the floor for Miami, despite going just 3 of 11 from three-point distance. It was also the Canes' work inside Chelsea, 24-10, leading the pack on paints on paint points in the interior.
Yeah, and NC State, a team that has only been outscored in the paint 3 times this season, usually defending that really well. But we've talked about Montpelier, we've talked about Hoth, those two combining for 30 points and 20 rebounds. You have to slow them down, and I thought those two got really comfortable in the first half.
Exciting first half of action. NC State and Miami. A couple of teams that are in the top 4 in those standings on the last day of the regular season. When we come back, Asia Durr. What a game against NC State. We'll take a look at it in just a moment.
MLS.
Back on the Hardy's halftime report, 38-30 is our halftime score. The Canes leading the Wolfpack, trying to win their 4th in a row in the series between the two teams. Courtside alongside Chelsea Shine, Tom Wormy with you. And what a performance on Thursday, Chelsea. Right now, Louisville's playing Pittsburgh, trying to earn the number 2 seed in our tournament. But what about what Asia Durr did against this NC State Wolfpack team on senior night for her?
47 points for Asia Durr. She had 11 three-pointers in this game, which set the new ACC record. She was on fire. NC State could not slow her down. You remember the last time she scored 47 points, it wasn't an overtime game. She did it in this game with plenty of time still to go and did get to come out to have her time to be honored by the crowd. But you can see her statistics there in 33 minutes, scoring 47 points. It was an Asia Durr show.
And right now, she and her teammates have the lead against Pittsburgh on the road. So if Durr and the Cards can win that game, as we look at the scores from around the ACC on the final day of the regular season, they will earn the number 2 seed at the tournament. Remember, they are the defending champs.
Yeah, we talked about Notre Dame locking in that 1 seed. Miami and NC State both will be in the top 4. It'll just be a matter, depending on how that Louisville game finishes, if they're the 3 or the 4 seed. Syracuse locked in at that 5th seed. And then you can see the standings as well. Notre Dame winning the first 4 ACC tournaments, Louisville upsetting them last year. And we talk a lot, those teams certainly the forerunners possibly, but now you've got a Miami team that's been playing really well and beat Notre Dame and Louisville in the regular season. They stumbled against Virginia Tech. Otherwise, Miami could be playing to tie. And if it were to be a 3-way tie, they would have been able to have that number 1 spot. But it has been an exciting season in the conference.
And again, those top 4 teams get the double bye. And it all gets going on Wednesday. The Greensboro Coliseum, home of the ACC Women's Tournament. The 14-game, 5-day event begins on Wednesday in Tournament Town. Ticket books for all the games, just $99 to purchase your tournament tickets. Visit Ticketmaster.com. It's the ACC Women's Tournament, the 42nd annual. 38-30. Canes on top of the pack on the Hardee's Halftime Report. ACC women's basketball. Notre Dame has already posted a victory this afternoon against Virginia, and they will be the #1 seed at our tournament starting next Wednesday on your regional sports networks. So Mesa Hoff led all scorers with 12 points in the first half, and what a first half for Dee Dee Rogers, the senior for the Wolfpack.
He's been a spark inside, and as Miami had to get into their bench a little bit, and Hoff and Montpremier weren't in there at the same time, I thought Dee Dee Rogers did a really good job of taking advantage of that opportunity to go against second and third string post players for Miami.
46% shooting in the first half for the Canes. Cornelius on the drive. Not enough on the layup attempt, and then a foul is called. That was the second personal on Hoff after the miss from Cornelius. Rogers leading the way with those 10 points, 4 of 10 from the floor, and 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Taken back by Gray of Miami. Off underneath, Rogers was ready. Off recovers and out to Cornelius. Gray, shot clock winding down. Lost it out of bounds, but it will stay with Miami. 4 on the shot clock. Canes are 12-3 in conference play. And those 12 ACC wins, second most in school history. Hoff, tough shot. Again, she beats the shot clock.
That's twice now that the post player has gotten the ball with just seconds left on the shot clock. Impressive job by the senior.
Largest lead of the game for Miami, 40-30. Leslie gives it up to Crutchfield. Rocking the 3-ball.
NC State's ability to make the jump shot down the stretch will be big. Here's the out-of-bounds play, just 4 seconds again. Hoff gets it from outside the 3-point line, puts it on the floor, and is able to score again at the last second. She's proven us wrong, Tom. I guess you can put the post player in a difficult position with the clock winding down.
Cornelius, the no-look into the corner. And a turnover from Miami. It's going to be their 5th of the game. Canes an impressive 5-2 in conference play away from Coral Gables this season. Of course, NC State has been tough at home, 5-2 in conference play here in Reynolds Coliseum. Canane, tight quarters. Got her own miss. Canane! Score the basket! And a foul against Miami.
I'll tell you what, the freshman has gone against the best of the best in the ACC. She has faced some of the toughest post players in the country and has not shied away. Canane, such a bright spot. Freshman of the year candidate type season for the young player.
9 points for Elisa Canane. 3 times this season, the ACC Rookie of the Week. And Leslie has the block on Gray. Koenig in transition. Crutchfield. Rogers.
NC State turning their defense into offense.
Montpremier in traffic, and Crutchfield saves it in the corner. NC State on an 8-0 run.
That's 2 plays now back-to-back where Kiera Leslie has made something happen on the defensive end of the floor, which has turned into to huge momentum for NC State. So Leslie, who's been quiet offensively now, has really been a spark on the defensive end. And NC State has tied it up.
Thursday.
The game is tied at 40 in the third quarter.
Kiera Leslie has been a spark on the defensive end. Really been the key person shifting this momentum, creating some steals, and then NC State able to run in transition, score some easy baskets, has tied this thing up, and you feel that momentum start to shift. Dee Rogers has been so good inside for the Wolfpack. 14 points for the senior on senior night.
Miami with the basketball here at Reynolds Coliseum, Valvano Arena, and K-Yow Court. Montpremier the other end. Got her own miss, puts it up and scores, and she's going to the free throw line. 12 points now for Montpremier.
22nd double-double of the year right there on her own rebound for Montpremier.
That's 3 fouls now on Canaan as well. Has been relatively quiet, just 2 points so far in the game. Misfires on the 3 attempt. Montpremier the board, adding to her double-double totals. Hoff, mid-range, and she's got it.
Hoff is an efficient player. 58% from the field. She knows where her range is. Really good eye and good decision making when it comes to her shots.
16 points for Hoff. Double figures, 24th time this season. Straight away, it's Rogers. That's a 2, and she's got 16. And those 16 points ties a career high, which she set this season in a game at Syracuse.
She had a double-double that game. Only averages just over 5 points a game.
Montpremier got it back, determined to get it up on the rim. And a foul is called.
Do you see Hoff slide out of the way? Here's Hoff's last bucket. Short little jumper. And then Dee Rogers just cool, calm, and collected at the top of the arc.
16 points for Rogers, leading the way for NC State with Montpremier at the free throw line. 14 points. Beatrice Montpremier. Kayla Jones will come back in the lineup. Cunane runs to the Wolfpack bench. Montpremier had 22 points at a game high in the win Thursday at home against Georgia Tech. She's got a couple of free throws with 5:18 to go in the third quarter. Game's been tied on 7 occasions. Right now it's the Canes by 5. Rogers trying to cut into the lead. Tried to get her own miss. Leslie came away with it. Crutchfield over to Koenig. Teeing up a three. Right in front of her own bench. Her first three of the ball game.
That's the kind of look for Koenig. Wide open in the corner. Had her feet set. Able to get into that shot in rhythm.
Off around 2 defenders. And she angles it off the backboard. 18 points of Asa Hoff. Contact inside and a foul called as Hoff hit the deck.
Dee Rogers takes no prisoners. And how about Aislinn Koenig from the three? Back and forth we go. Asa Hoff, another bucket for the senior, and Miami with a 4-point lead. A lot of emotion in the building this afternoon. That is Nora Lynn Finch
Senior Associate Commissioner in the ACC for women's basketball, being honored by the folks here at NC State. Norlin, who has had such an incredible impact as a coach, an administrator, a player, and an advocate for women's basketball, and all the incredible things that she has done, a member of the NCAA committees. And Norlin has been, well, unbelievable in her time with the ACC and as part of women's basketball, and she's kind enough to join us. And Norlin, I can't imagine what the emotion's been like over the last couple of months as you head towards retirement and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, the retirement I expected. No, the Hall of Fame, maybe not so.
We expected it, but it has to be an amazing way things have turned out for you in the last few months.
It does cause you to reflect back on your career. The retirement part does. And then when I'm being asked, well, what about this? What about that? And I started adding it up and said, gosh, I think I lived every day of my life. I don't think I misspent a single one.
One of the things that you've done over your long career has been to attend every ACC women's basketball tournament. And as we get ready to head to the 42nd ACC women's basketball tournament, I'm curious your thoughts. Who has been the biggest surprise for you when you look around the league this year in terms of where they've finished?
Well, our new coaches have had an immediate impact. So to see what Amanda has done at Clemson is nothing short of amazing. What Wes has done, having lost 4 significant players to season-ending injuries, nothing short of amazing. When Muffet can keep it going at Notre Dame, when Jeff can keep it going at Louisville, this league is simply fascinating. There's none better. There's nothing better than ACC women's basketball this year.
And we've seen a lot of exciting things happen over the years. What are you most looking forward to this tournament?
Well, let's not forget that fan is short for fanatic, and you're in Reynolds Coliseum where the fans are all Wolfpack. So they get engaged. So this year, this season, the depth of our league has been fantastic. And it's not just that we're good, it's that we're good really deep. So we should have, for sure, 8 teams in the NCAA tournament, maybe a 9th in Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Norlin, last year, 8 teams from the conference going to the NCAA tournament. But so strong, top to bottom. We still have our own tournament to play next week, but as you just mentioned, you're thinking about 8 teams and maybe Georgia Tech added to the mix as well, correct?
That's correct. I think we're that good. And when you look at our non-conference schedule, how strong we are in our strength of schedule, which is who we played, there's none better. We are the #1 rating percentage index, which is RPI, in the nation. And that means who we played and who they played and how many games we won against them, and nobody's better.
And we're getting a look at the resume for Georgia Tech, and while we look at that, also want to let you know that on Wednesday, head coach Michelle Joseph was placed on leave pending a personal matter. That's according to spokesperson Mike Flynn from Georgia Tech, and Mark Simons, the acting head coach for Georgia Tech. With all that going on as we look forward to the tournament, they may be that 9 team that joins all the other teams that you documented that could be a part of the NCAA tournament out of the conference.
And I think they've had the season for that. I really do, Tom.
Do you think that when so much can hinge, they had a loss today against Florida State, is that one of the teams that can help themselves the most in the ACC tournament?
There's no doubt. I think the ACC tournament is a place that more teams have played into the NCAA tournament than teams that played out. Now, in this particular tournament, the top 4 seeds of our tournament are looking at top 4 NCAA seeds, which means they would host first and second round, which is huge. So our top 4 seeds should be there. And then our 5, 6, 7, 8, they should certainly be in the top 8 seeds of the NCAA. We are that good. We are that deep. And Georgia Tech has a resume. Remember that a bid should be for the entire season. And yes, you look at how they finish. So if they win 2 games in the ACC tournament, that should be enough.
Both of these, Tom, I was just going to say, both of these teams today were in that top 16 field, as Norlin had just mentioned. And another thing that you had touched on in Norlin, but the coaches in this league, 5 of them named to the late season Coach of the Year award. How impressed have you been with the depth of coaching in this league?
I've never seen that. 1/3 of your coaches are on the Naismith final list. That's how good we are, though. We're not just deep with players. We're deep with the best coaches in the country.
Nora Lynn, how about this game unfolding in front of us right here? NC State just hit a 3. It's a 1-point game.
Isn't this fun? But this is ACC basketball. It's been this way all year. But this game, 2 of the top 12 teams in the country playing each other. Wow, is this fun.
Coach Meyer is sweating it out on that sideline. 51-50 after they led by 8 at halftime. Should Miami win, it would solidify that number 3 seed at the tournament. Of course, the top 4 seeds, very important. You don't have to play the first 2 days of the tournament. NC State will get that double bye, but will they be number 3? Will they be number 4? Right now, they're number 4, but trying to come back against Miami, and they have a chance to take the lead here.
I was asked earlier today, which is better, 3rd or 4th? I said, Notre Dame or Louisville? What do you think?
It's a tough call.
And that was looking past the first-round game, which is going to be equally challenging.
Gray picked up the foul for Miami, which has defeated both of those teams that you mentioned this season.
Miami is a very good team, and everyone watching this game sees that. They're so talented inside. But when their perimeter scoring is good, oh, wow. Boy, NC State is playing with emotion today. They're only 6 players deep, but all 6 are engaged in this game. That's amazing what Wes has been able to do. To have his team so well prepared at the bench, they could come in and play.
First lead since the second quarter for NC State as they've taken a 52-51 advantage against Miami. Now, do you mind if we turn back the clock a little bit? Nora Lynn.
Looks like yesterday, doesn't it?
Incredible.
There we go, Chelsea. That's very nice.
Amazing.
Oh, yes.
And so much time on the bench. You were the first head coach at Wake Forest as well for that program.
Yes.
And then working alongside Kay Yow. I mean, the experiences, that's got to be hard to put into words.
Well, as you can see, Kay was at one time dark hair, and I was at one time light hair. I was Kay's associate head coach, and what wonderful 6 years they were. I was a defensive expert, and the greatest accomplishment I ever had was getting Kay to stick with the same offense into February my last year, because by January she was bored and wanted something new. What a coach. Man, what a coach. She was so good.
The coach for whom this court is named, the legend, Kay Yow.
Well, she always said that the measure of a team is the effort they put forth, and she would be so proud of Wes's team and so proud of Katie's team. Now, you have to know that Katie wore an NC State jersey one summer. She had graduated from Duke. NC State, Kay Yow was taking the NC State team to Taiwan, to Taipei, to play in the Jones Cup. And we had had so many injuries, we needed help. So Katie had finished at Duke. Katie played with the NC State team in the Jones Cup. Not many teams would do that, many players, but boy, we had fun with Katie.
Final seconds of this quarter, Nora Lynn. And with the score 53-51, we just want to thank you for joining us, and we wish you nothing but the best. And we're going to have a lot of fun next week in Greensboro at the ACC Women's Tournament.
So glad you're going to be there, Tom.
I cannot wait to get there. And Chelsea will be watching on a television nearby, wherever she is.
Family trumps everything.
That's true. Absolutely. We thank you so much for your time, and best of luck. Retirements, the Hall of Fame, and the ACC Tournament coming up next week with Nora Lynn Finch. So the officials are at the scorer's table with 2.7 seconds. There was a clock issue. 53-51. And once again, we thank Nora Lynn for stopping by and sharing some of those stories. And again, she's impacted so many people in so many different ways. And joined us here in this third quarter. The clock freezes at 2.7 as NC State was bringing the ball up after the miss at the other end of the court. So the officials trying to determine how much time should be on that clock with the Wolfpack up 53-51. Once again, should Miami win this game, they will solidify the number 3 seed. Notre Dame has already won today. They beat Virginia, so they are the number 1 seed. Louisville has defeated Pittsburgh. They are the number 2 seed. And Louisville as the defending champs a season ago. Notre Dame has won 4 ACC tournament titles. And NC State, if it can win today against Miami, would move up to the number 3 seed. And they're going to say that that is the end of the third quarter. So that will do it. There is a timeout on the court. Headed to the fourth. 53-51 NC State. For the fourth quarter on K-Yow Court as they honored Norlin Finch at halftime. And what a performance by NC State and Miami, which had the 8-point halftime lead. The Wolfpack come roaring back behind 19 points from Dee Rogers, a career high. And it's a 2-point lead after the third for NC State. Here's our Hardee's game summary.
Both of these teams, such close numbers in all of these categories. Points in the paint, a bigger difference from Miami. As we talked about, Montpremier and Hoff have just been so good down low. Miami out-rebounding NC State as well. NC State, though, with the advantage in second chance points.
Montpremier and Hoff were the only 2 Hurricanes to score in the third quarter. And that ball nestles between the rim and backboard. So it'll be a held ball situation. The arrow favors Miami. Here, Leslie says, let's go. Let's play this game. Get that ball out of there. It's going to be Cornelius in the inbounds.
How about this? So Leslie, who averages 16, has only 5, and NC State's up by 2. I mean, you think if Leslie can knock down a couple shots this quarter, she might have some left in the tank. She certainly made an impact on the defensive end, though.
She is the leading scorer this season for NC State. Hoff had it knocked away and taken by Jones. Rogers. Crutchfield. Rogers the rebound. Crutchfield for 3.
couldn't have two better looks. Ball goes inside, sucks the defense down, and that's the shot you want if you're Wes Moore.
Cornelius for three. Miami takes the lead by 1, and 8 points in the game for Cornelius.
She started the game with a triple early on. It was only attempted. That was only her 4th attempt from 3. Another good kick out. Watch the ball go down low. 3 NC State defenders get sucked down, and you can't leave Cornelius open.
8 points now for Cornelius. Averages 10 per game. Only took 1 3 attempt in the game against Georgia Tech on Thursday. It was Rogers with the miss and Hoff on the dribble. Leslie hit the court. Cornelius with the basketball. School leader in three-point field goal percentage, although she misses that one after making the previous attempt from beyond the arc. She's 39% for her career. The redshirt junior from Miami, number 1 in black, orange, and green. This is Leslie right down Broadway.
Koenig gets her the ball. Let's Leslie go to work. Off the bounce.
7 points now for Leslie, who had a career-high 31 in a win at Boston College earlier this season. Hoff on the entry and score, and it came from Cornelius.
That's textbook post-up right there, and an entry pass by Cornelius.
22 points for Mesa Hoff. And next week, these programs will be part of the ACC Women's Tournament, 42nd annual. For the 18th time in Greensboro, North Carolina. And it's Leslie with back-to-back buckets, and she's got 9 points.
You better watch out now if Leslie's heating up. Capable scorer, can score at all 3 levels.
Montpremier on the drive and a whistle and foul with 7:04 on the clock.
She's been quiet all game, but that doesn't mean you change how you're going to defend her. She can score in volume, and then here's Hoff with another deep post-up. Good pass by Cornelius. And then Leslie, back-to-back buckets. Again, facing up to the basket, a step inside the three-point line. She's so good off the bounce.
Montpremier short, she got it back. Cornelius wants a reset. She glances over at Katie Meyer. Chance to take the lead for the Canes. Inside of 7 minutes to go in regulation. Spinning Montpremier. Crutchfield has it. Inside, Dee Rogers.
Well, we've seen some big performances by seniors on their senior day, and Dee Rogers is adding herself to that list.
A career high, 21 points for Dee Rogers. The Wolfpack has its largest lead of the game as Koenig deflects it out of bounds.
How about Dee Rogers? Her sister Rodrika played at Georgia Tech. She's here today cheering her sister on. Career high, running in transition. She has played a great game, has had some really good reads at the basket. Playing with a ton of energy.
Montpremier ran into Canane. It's his second foul on Montpremier.
Trying to put the ball on the floor and then loses it a little bit and extends her arm against Canane. That's a big foul. Canane, who had 3 fouls. That would have been her 4th.
59-56, NC State. Canane on the block. Hoff hit the court. Leslie had a piece of it. Hoff also grabbing at it out of bounds and off of Miami. From 8 down at halftime to up by 3 for NC State. Koenig. Prather came in for the board. Chance to tie with a 3. Shot clock at 10. Hoff will drive it. Got it back. Foul called.
Westmore's face. I don't think he agrees with that one.
4th on Canane.
Now that's going to be difficult. With Montpelier out right now, you might take Canane out to make sure she doesn't pick up that 5th, and they will. But Kayla Jones has given them really good minutes this afternoon off the bench. Just a sophomore, but if you're Westmore, I feel like you can have a lot of confidence in this young player. She's made some good decisions.
Couple of misses from the line by Hoff. The lead still 3. Jones into the game with 7 points for NC State, coming in for Canane with the 4 personal fouls. Here's Jones stepping back. Leslie on the weak side and a fresh shot clock. Crutchfield misses, and Hoff grabbed it out of midair. Minutes to go in regulation. Another chance for the Canes. Gray's going to drive it. Rogers was there to smother the shot. Koenig goes up ahead to Jones. The catch and the basket.
What a spark Jones has been. How about that hustle play by Rogers, though? She's falling out of bounds to save it and to get it to her teammate under the Miami basket.
9 points for Jones. Mason in traffic. Prather lines up a mid-range. Hoff tried to tip it out, but Crutchfield grabbed it. Pack working on a 6-0 run. Up by 5. Shot clock to 6 for Koenig. High degree of difficulty. Off the board. Up ahead to Gray. Trying to hustle to the rim, and she scores. Timeout Miami. 4 points for Gray. And it's a 3-point game.
MLS is back.
official corporate champions of the ACC. Geico. New York Life. Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. Food Lion. And Toyota.
We are going down to the final seconds in this one. Coach Meyer, Coach Moore, fighting for a seat at the ACC tournament next week. And it takes us right to the standings. Notre Dame and Louisville have solidified their spots at 1 and 2.
Top 4 get a double bye. The top 9 seeds get a first round bye. Those seeds are locked in again today. The winner of this game gets the 3 seed. The loser will be the 4th. But both teams will not have to play until Friday, getting that double bye. That's the biggest thing when you want to focus in on where you finish. And there's Leslie. She's a gamer. Makes the big plays down the stretch.
11 points for Leslie. 26th time this season she's gotten the double digits in scoring. Montpremier runs it to Canane.
Leslie's so good at the pull-up mid-range game. You saw Cornelius looking for the screen. She can get to the rim, but you have to respect her jump shot.
11 points for the graduate student from Holly Springs, North Carolina. There was no foul in the previous play. Ball just went out of bounds. Now Cornelius deep into the shot clock. Hoff. Bothered by Canane and Rogers. And it is the shot clock violation against Miami.
When Dee Rogers held her ground, you had to watch Leslie digging in on that too. And Hoff, who'd been so good with the clock winding down, didn't get it off in time.
Despite that turnover, 22 points from Hoff. And that leads everybody. Rogers has 21 points and the basketball. Working on the block and the kick out. Shot clock is inside of 10. Game clock inside of 2 minutes. Crutchfield will shoot it for 3. Too strong, and Montpremier has the board. Her 17th of the ball game.
Her career high 21 boards earlier this season against Marquette.
Ball comes to Koenig. Hoff tried to knock it away from Koenig and did, but out of bounds. 1:31 on the game clock. Les Moore's team has not won in this series since February of 2015. And a win right here at home. 68-65 against Miami, and a foul is called.
4 now on Hoff. Canane already has 4. 2-possession game.
Canane, double teamed. 3 players diving for the basketball, and it's saved. Marshall made the save for Miami. Foul called against the Wolfpack. And that's 4 now on Dee Rogers.
Coach Moore yelling from the bench, alerting Rogers that she has 4 fouls now. Figure you need her down the stretch in this final minute.
She's got a double-double today for the Pack. Trying to defend with those 4 personals, and Hoff goes around her.
Well, you have to recognize that. On the flip side, Hoff has 4 too. So for NC State, try to take it inside.
Final minute of play in regulation. 63-60. NC State with the ball and the lead. Rogers. Hoff came over to help. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay with NC State. There's 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Hoff. Again, Rogers with 4 fouls, having to be careful there. Hoff knew it, went right at her.
Crutchfield. Koenig. Seven points for Koenig. There were 5 seconds on the shot clock. They only needed a couple.
NC State executes their out-of-bounds plays so well. Underneath basket, watch Koenig off the screen, cuts right back, reads the defense. And Banks trailing. Koenig gives Koenig the layup in traffic to keep it a 2-possession game now. So Hoff with 4, Canane with 4, and Rogers with 4. If you're Miami at this point, I'm still trying to go inside to the big girls. Higher percentage shot, no need for 3-pointers yet.
The winner of our game will earn the number 3 seed in the tournament and will not have to play Chelsea until the quarterfinals on Friday at 8 in the evening in Greensboro.
And beyond even the ACC tournament, these teams playing, as we talked about with Nora Lynn Finch, these teams in the last reveal were in the top 16. The next reveal will be tomorrow, and the top 16 seeds in the NCAA tournament gets to host the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. That's huge. You want to be playing in those first 2 rounds on your home floor, and so these teams are fighting certainly for their ACC 3rd or 4th seed, but especially for the NCAA resume, wanting to stay atop that top 16.
Haynes with the ball. They've been so good against ranked opponents this season, 6-1, including 5-1 in the ACC. Marshall the miss. Leslie blocked the shot from Kelsey Marshall. And a foul, 23.3 seconds to go.
It seems fitting that Leslie should come up with another big defensive play in a crucial possession. What a block, and then getting herself across half court to draw the foul against Miami.
11 points in the game for Kiera Leslie. And 6 of those points have come in the 4th quarter. And a timeout taken. NC State taking the timeout with a 5-point lead. And 23.3 seconds on the clock. And what an afternoon it has been for Dee Rogers, one of the NC State seniors honored prior to the game, and she has come to play this afternoon.
She has been so consistent, having a big day on her senior day. Getting to the rim, has shown no fear against Montpremier and Hoff, who are the dynamic duo inside for Miami, and Dee Rogers has just taken it to them. Scoring on the inside, has hit a couple jumpers. She's been so good on the boards, 21 points, 14 rebounds for the senior. We know she's a rebounder. She brings that night in and night out, but she told you before coming into this game, only averaged just over 5 points a game. Career high. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Canane is fouled. Dee Rogers in a game in early December at Georgetown, Chelsea, had 20 rebounds, a career high. She's not quite to that level today, but considering everything surrounding the game, Dee Rogers has been a standout for NC State.
5th top 25 opponent NC State has had to play in 7 games. It has been a brutal stretch for the Wolfpack. Trying to secure another top 25 win.
11 points for Canane, giving the Packets largest lead of the game with just 15 seconds to go. Cornelius for 3. Timeout Miami. This game is far from over now.
That was a deep shot. Koenig trying to get her hand up. Cornelius with her third triple. Still a two-possession game.
Points for Cornelius. Miami has used its full complement of timeouts. NC State is in the bonus. Any foul results in 2 shots for NC State.
Miami will have to foul quickly.
An amazing atmosphere inside Reynolds Coliseum. On the final day of the regular season in ACC women's basketball, Reynolds Coliseum hosted the ACC women's tournament twice, in 1979 and 1982. And next week we're going to Greensboro for the 18th time in the 42nd annual ACC women's tournament. Who will be the number 3 seed? Who will be the number 4 seed? We might find out in about 14 seconds, Chelsea Shine. So on the back of the Miami timeout, Wes Moore has also called the timeout, so he has 2 remaining.
So Leslie and Canane are your top free throw shooters percentage-wise. And that timeout now will advance the basketball for NC State to get it to half court.
Wolfpack 7-3 against the Canes here at home, although they have struggled recently in the series. NC State trying to snap a 3-game losing streak against Miami, and they've lost 10 of the last 11. If they win it today, they advance to the number 3 seed behind Notre Dame and Louisville. And we go to Greensboro next week. Montpremier the foul. The number 4 seed plays at 11 a.m. on Friday at Greensboro Coliseum. And as we told you, the number 3 seed will play at 8 o'clock that evening in the quarterfinals on Friday. Eight points for Koenig.
Coach Meyer going to get her 3-point shooters in there now. Your ball handlers in, you can get the basketball up the floor quickly.
These are just free throws 9 and 10 on the season for Koenig. Then she hits them both. Cornelius has to hurry. Trying to get to 2. They need an immediate foul with 6.4 seconds on the clock. And NC State wants a timeout. 69-65. Wes Moore's taking a timeout. He's got 1 to go. De'Ara Leslie, also one of the seniors honored on Senior Day here in Raleigh. And she has turned up the volume in the second half.
Yeah, much bigger fourth quarter for Leslie. I've been so impressed with her defense. I thought she's made some big defensive plays that have really shifted the momentum throughout this game for Miami, has allowed them to run in transition, creating those opportunities off of her hustle plays on the defensive end of the floor. Seniors impacting this game in a bunch of different ways. Below her season average, but again, I think her defensive presence has certainly made up for that.
Over 900 points scored in her NC State career. It's going to be a foul against Miami on Cornelius. Leslie's going to be going to the free throw line. We think. they've got the clock correct. Foul happened before the ball was inbounded. So Leslie at the free throw line. Mortensen comes back in. Just 6.4 seconds to go. 12 points now for Leslie on the free throw conversion. 5-point lead. NC State trailed by 8 points at halftime. Cornelius touches it, starts the clock. Marshall heaves the three and makes it at the horn. But the Canes come up short. 70-68, the final count, Wes Moore. And NC State wins it to earn the number 3 seed at our tournament next week in Greensboro.
I don't think you could have asked for a better ACC season finale in the regular season. How exciting is this tournament going to be?
Miami will be the number 4 seed, losing 70-68. The ACC Women's Basketball Tournament begins Wednesday from Greensboro. Coverage starts 1 Eastern. 3 games on the first day. Check your local listings for the games in your area. For Chelsea Shine, I'm Tom Wormy, saying so long from Raleigh, North Carolina.